Yes. What is up, everyone? Welcome. Welcome to another stream of Decentralized Poker. Whew. And let me quickly notify everybody on Discord. Shit, I forgot. Damn. Tag everyone, of course. Everyone. Something like this. Is it working actually? Damn. Hop. All right. Twitter, of course. Do I have the... Yes. And we have the big screen, eh? The big screen TV. Interstellar. What is up, my man? What is up? Yeah, let me... what is this? Only screen? Test. Yeah, it's better. All right. Joe Biden. Happy Halloween, my man. Happy Halloween. Trick or treat. Man, today is a heavy day, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going at the speed of light and I don't have a suit. That's the problem. That's the problem. Hey, look at me. Hey, wait, what is this? Full screen? Look at this. Hey, I have the breast hair and everything. I got the muscles. Look at your mentor. Strong as fuck. A unit. A complete unit. All right. Anyway, enough show off. Enough show off. It's time. And if I have money enough, I'm going to hire Bruce Buffer to announce the stream. All right. So yesterday we did some cool stuff, not going to lie. And let me find the G-spot of streaming on this scuffed chair. Yes. Lol, now you can work at Facebook. Yeah. Actually, I'm already a little bit too dressed, but I couldn't find anything else because I'm constantly busy with the stream and everything that I cannot even wash, clean my own clothes. So today I am doing my my interview clothes. You look like the Hulk. But not green. Okay, so yesterday, let's, I'm gonna say make run, because yesterday we did something cool. We have our peer discovery completely done. Right, we're booting up these nodes, and then they are gonna shaking hands. Look at this. And yeah, all good. So what I'm gonna do first is basically, I'm gonna say millisecond, and we're gonna do, I don't know, 200 maybe, like this. We're gonna do it a little bit faster. Arca, for Facebook, all you need is legs. It is for Facebook, man. I don't want to work at Facebook, and you don't, and also you don't want to do that. Facebook, Google, all these FANG, it's nasty. It's the cause of all evil. Yeah, we're gonna. What the hell am I doing here? We sleep, and then I'm gonna copy this here, and here, and then I'm gonna delete these ones. This is good. Make run. Look at this, high speed. All right, so peer discovery, we can check mark this. All right, so now we're gonna play with, let's open up server real quick, and on the other side, of course, the game state, because we're going to do some game state shenanigans. What we're gonna try to do today is find a way to set some state, to communicate. You will see. I have no clue what we're gonna do, to be honest. I have actually no clue. So we're gonna say first this waiting. I think we're gonna say waiting for cards or something. Waiting for cards. And waiting for cards, because each time we connect, we're gonna set our status waiting for cards. Each time we fault, we're gonna send a message that we are waiting for cards. And if everybody is waiting for cards, we can start the dealing round. But of course, we need to find a way to represent the player. Ice Bear, what up, my man? We need to find a way to represent the player. We have our game state, right? That's our game state, the local game state. But we also need to find a way to represent the remote game state, right? Man, I'm getting a cold. I'm not getting it. I already have it. But still, I went to the gym and still I'm here present. You know? I don't give a shit. A man's got to do what a man's got to do. No matter how you feel. Just show up. It is what it is. Cry. I will cry when I go to sleep, right? Off stream. That's when I cry. How are we gonna do this? We need to have maybe players. Something like this. Players is gonna be a map, actually, a map. It's gonna be a map of string to player. Like this, and of course we don't have a player, so we're gonna create one. Player is gonna be my keyboard is not in the right place. It's gonna be a struct, and then we're gonna say a status. It's gonna be a game status. What also do we need? Maybe a game status, I don't know. It's gonna be false, and then we're gonna say the game status. Game status. Like this. And now, we need to find a way to add a player. So we could communicate, right? So what's going to happen is this. It's going to be a lot of decisions need to be made, right? Can be gone. What you're going to do is some elite stuff, I think. I don't know. What else going on with server? It's red. What did we do? Nothing. What's going on? Oh yeah, I see. Yes, so we need our handshake. Let me quickly see message. Game status. So we're sending a game status. That's good. We're sending a game status. If we do a handshake already, that's perfectly fine, because we're gonna say, hey yo, I'm a spectator of I'm ready. I'm ready waiting for cards, right? Where are we doing this? Server. Where is new server? Nowhere to be found. Here. Game state. New game state. And that's good. I think this new game state is fine. We're gonna say that we are game status waiting for cards. That's what we're gonna say. And of course what we need is basically players, which is going to be make me a map of string to pointer player, right? Like this, hop, hop, hop. Visual Studio Code. Cannot register my keystrokes. And then we're gonna say something like the game states. We're gonna actually add a player's lock. Or a player's lock, which is a sync. It's going to be a sync or wmutex. And we're going to say g game state add player, the address of the player, which is basically the address of the handshake, right? Of the peer, actually, peer TCP. You see this listen address. So basically, we have the server, which is our local poker game server. And that has a game state that tied to it, right? The server handles the communication, right? It's the server. It handles the transport. It handles incoming messages, keeps track of peers, and that stuff. A peer is actually a server, but on the other side, right? On the other side of the connection, that's the peer. And then we have a player, and a player represents the game state of that peer, I think. Something like that. If that makes sense. Yeah, add player. So we're going to say G players log like this. We're going to log this thing. Players log. Unlock. And then we're going to say G players is going to be, oh, of course we need to have, we need the status. We're going to say that the adder is going to be a pointer to a player. And the status is going to be the status. Yes. And now we need to find a place to connect these things. We need a lock because, yeah, I mean, we need concurrent world, distributed environment. We need to have a lock because we can add players from different routines and, yeah. So we're going to say, where are we going to place this thing? I'm in fucking transport. I don't need to be here. So we need the game status. So we need the handshake. So we could do, where is handshake? Handshake. Here. Oh, we could do it here, right? We could say as game state, add player. And we're going to say peer listen address. And then we're going to say the handshake. What the hell? Status? Game status. What's going on? Status like this. Alright, that's what we're gonna do. Add the peer, and then we're gonna notify our game state that there is a new player. And then we're gonna say game state. Let's do some logging here. With fields, logres fields, and maybe an info. Man, what's going on here? New player joined. Yes. And then we're going to say that the address of that peer is going to be the address and maybe the status. Bonsoir, bro. Loanis, what's up, my man? Welcome back. Welcome back, man. The status. I need to warm up, not gonna lie. It's gonna be the status. Alright, is this gonna work? What's going on here? Make run. Put it up. Oh, player joined. That's good. Let's do some let's do some players. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some kind of a loop. We're gonna say for select. Then we're gonna say let's make a ticker. Ticker is gonna be time new ticker time second times 5. And then we're gonna say case ticker C, maybe default also, and then we're going to say I don't know what we're going to say. We're going to print out the status, the game status, and we're going to print out how many players we have. Man, players connected, and that's going to be len, and actually we need to have a lock here, to be honest. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. It's only debugging. G players. This default. Yeah. And then we're gonna start this loop. So we're gonna say something like this: G. Go G. Loop. Return G. Anthony G. Make run. Let's go. Nice. Why is everybody saying something about my t-shirt? Look at me, man, please. Once again. Hey. Super dry. Let's fucking go. All right. So, new player joined. Are we ticking? We aren't. New player joined. What's going on here? Yeah, of course, because I'm a little bit yes, you know, the little of course. Make earn, make run. You're facing any problem in 60%? No, man. Yeah, the thing is, 60% keyboard is. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Look at this. Uy. Something is terribly wrong. Listen, there's the golden rule: the smaller your keyboard, the better the developer, the better the engineer, right? But the thing is, look, arrow keys. Listen, first of all, your numpad on your keyboard. Who's using his numpad? Nobody is using his numpad, right? If you're still using your numpad, man. So, numpad, you don't need them because your numbers are literally above your home row, right? So you don't need those numpad numbers. So you can delete that, right? Then you could say, yeah, but I need my arrow keys. You don't need arrow keys, right? Because in our editor, we move with G key, H, and all that stuff, right? So we don't need the arrow keys. And if we do need the arrow keys, we can press Fn and do the same thing. Fn, G key, L, Y. In the worst case scenario. So why do I need to take up all my desk space? I don't need it. But I wouldn't recommend it if you're starting. I would recommend to take, what is it, a 70 or something, without the numpad, but with the arrow keys. The less keys, the best keys. Right, so what the hell is going on? I think players connected is something is going on here. Wait, let me. Game state is going to be we're going to say players connected. Maybe it's a good idea because maybe we need this for some APIs or something later on. I don't know. Icebear, I would start with deleting your make your keyboard smaller with the numpad. Delete your numpad. Start with that, and if you really want to go hard from the beginning, go with 60%. And make it yourself. Actually, you need to make it yourself so hard from the beginning, right? And then you have a better time. You need to buy time. You need to invest time right now so you can buy time later on. That's what I'm doing, right? I'm investing all my time, and later on, I'm going to buy time. That's what I'm going to do. So players connected, we're going to say G, the players lock. It's going to be the add lock. And then we're going to say defer this thing, and we're going to say the R unlock. Unlock. And then going to say return len g players like this. I can't. Because this. And then we're going to say G players connected. Players connected. Actually, LAN players connected. I think that's better. Ordering. Yes, yes. Hey, you see? Okay, listen. This is exactly why you need a lock, man. You see, you need to protect everything with a lock, or you will get inconsistent results. There are 5 players connected, or we actually have. Do we have 5 players? Actually, that's the question. I don't know. We have 6 players. Of course, yeah. We have. Oh yeah. Hey, we have 5 players connected, but we also are a player, right? Hey, come on. I was already panicking. Oh man, my nose. I can't even breathe. Yeah, we're doing a good job. Look at this. And we have this loop, but this loop is actually... Let me... First of all, let's take a step back. We don't need 6 players right now, right? It's too much. Too much for our epileptical seizures. May not go. We're gonna cut out 3 players. Actually, we could let them sit, but just comment them out, and then maybe from here, that. Dakota, hello, what's up? What is up? Welcome to the stream. I hope you have a good day. What the fuck was wrong with the lock? Well, if there is no lock, and we ask for the length of our map, right? So you're reading the map without a lock. So it could be that you get inconsistent results. And now that you lock, you wait till the rest is done updating that map, so you always have the correct answer. Because we are setting already, this loop is already a go routine, right? And then we are basically have a go routine while this go routines all over the place, right? Who else have a map changing? Well, actually, the size of the map is not changing. That's a good thing. Good question. Yeah, so it's working, right? It's fine. So we have 2 players because we just dissed. We dissed 3 players, so we have 2 players and ourselves. So we're playing with 3 players, right? Okay, so that's one. How was the size of the map changing? Well, like I mentioned, it's... I don't know. I have no clue. I just add a lock and don't worry about it. Inconsistent behavior. It is what it is. That's what's going on. It's inconsistent behavior. How things happen. Why is it... we don't know. It's inconsistent behavior. It's the matrix glitching. Yeah, server back. So, and then game state here. So... I'm thinking because, wait, so we have this. Maybe we could do... deal cards. Right, so, wait, we need to have this dealer. We're going to do it simple from the beginning. And we're going to add this encryption later on. So, if everybody is waiting for cards, that means that we can start the dealing process, right? I think so, right? Everybody's waiting for cards, which basically means, hey, start dealing. So let's test this real quick. And then we need to find out who was the last dealer. And he's going to initiate a deal. He's going to shuffle, encrypt, but we're going to encrypt later on. He's going to shuffle. You're going to send the cards to everybody else. Everybody's going to shuffle again and send the cards back. That's the process. Of course, everybody's going to encrypt each card with his key. But yeah, if we can have this round trip, this communication done, then I think that's very good already. Like I mentioned, this is pretty hard, not gonna lie. Alessandro Dalsas, great stuff, man. Too bad I have to go watch the save. Yeah, man. Hey, no worries. No worries, boy. The replay is always available for you. I'm doing these live streams because then I can talk to the community. But also because I think YouTube a little bit prefers live streams and push it more into the algorithm. Because literally my videos, if I have 200-300 viewers for one video, then it's a lot. So it's hard, man. YouTube is hard. I don't understand. And then you have these garbage videos, literally trash with cheap dopamine about, I don't know what this guy's doing, and they get 50k viewers in 3 hours, and then I'm getting pissed. Maybe it's a part of the process. I don't know. We will see. I will keep grinding. I won't stop. Don't stop. Deal cards. So, wait. This is not this correct. It's going to be check. Check deal cards. Check need deal cards. Yeah, that's maybe better. So we're going to say, first of all, we need players waiting for cards, and it could be that we're gonna change this, right? Like I mentioned, I didn't think about this. It's straight out of my brain, straight out of the brain. It's like a little bit of prototyping and instantly making things work. We salute you. Yeah, thanks, Rodrigo Baliza. Waiting for cards. So first of all, we need to do a lot of shit, not gonna lie. Game state. Add player waiting for cards. And if you find a better name, please let me know, because it's hard for me to think about a good name. Maybe we'll hire somebody from the Ruby community. Sorry. Because these guys are specialists in naming things, right? They schedule meetings for that and all that stuff. They even go like on a vacation with the whole team just to think about one variable name. Waiting for cards. So we're going to say atomic add this thing address of this player waiting for cards. 1. Game status waiting for cards. Yeah, then we're gonna say g add player waiting for cards. Because if you add a player, I don't know, maybe he could not be waiting for cards. I don't know, maybe it's just connecting. I don't know. A spectator or something, I don't know. Now we need to find a way to load this. We could say, I think it's going to be atomic load ng player waiting for cards. Players waiting. Now you're going to say if players waiting equals len. No, it's not. We can actually do this. G len players connected n game state and g.is dealer and g status game status. Man, this is the nastiest if in my life. Is game status. I'm thinking game status waiting for cards. Boom. And you see, Golang does not wait. We're gonna make this clean. So if the players waiting equals the amount of players connected and the game status, and we are the dealer, right? And the game status is the game status waiting for cards. So basically our status is the same. We are also waiting for cards. We can actually do this stuff. We need to deal. Panic. Wait, we could. Let's do a panic first. Dealing the cards. So we also need to find a way how to figure out who is the dealer. Of course, once we figure it out, it can cycle. You could say, yeah, but the dealer can be randomized each round. Yes, for cards it is, but the problem is not for the button, right? In poker, you have the dealer, the button, and then you have small, big blind. So you need to actually cycle. And we can't cycle because we don't have an ordered map. Another problem. Aye. This is a map is not ordered. Another problem. But we're gonna fix them all. That's the thing. If it was easy, it was not on my channel, you know. We do easy stuff also, of course. But I mean, hey, you want to make some complex things, right, to trigger our brains. So we're gonna assume for now. In main. We're gonna say player A. Can I access the game state? No, I can't. Damn. Okay, then then we're gonna do it nasty. We're gonna do it hacky, but we need to test. So I'm gonna say, where is new server? Here. Where is game state actually? Here. If s listen adder equals 3000, we're gonna say game state s game state is dealer is gonna be true. All right. Don't do this in production, hey? The question, of course, is of course we don't check it. Aye. We don't check check need deal cards. Where are we gonna do this? The best way to do this is because everyone is doing it, right? So it's a peer-to-peer, right? So everybody needs to do the same logic. That's the hard part. Every single remote, every single server, every single player needs to execute the same code. And to be honest, that's why these functional languages, a lot of people are laughing with functional languages like Erlang or something, or Elixir. But to be honest, they are pretty good in distributed systems. They are actually actually are the best. They are super hard to program because it's a completely different way of thinking, and it's a completely different mindset because you do a lot of tail recursion, and it's a different mindset. But for updating states, a functional language is insane because you cannot actually have these issues we encounter right now, right? Because you're constantly copying the state, right? In a functional language. And that's why Erlang is basically used by telecom Ericsson shenanigans, right? Which is very concurrent. And basically the exchange where I worked for also used Elixir, which is Erlang, right? It's Erlang for Pythonist, for Ruby people. Yeah. Okay, I have an idea. So each time wait. Maybe we should do something like game state set player status. The other string status is going to be the game status. I think it's better because we can check each time a player sends a new status. We can do a lot of logic, and based on the statuses everybody has, we can trigger some logic. I think something like that could be good. I think. So set player status, we need to lock these things. So we're gonna say g players lock, and it's a write lock, right? So lock like this, defer g players lock or unlock. And then we're gonna say g player. Okay, it's gonna be g players adder. If not okay, we are in trouble, right? We're gonna panic for now because the reason why I'm panicking is not because I want it to, but it's because then we are 100% sure if this happens, we will get notified and we can instantly fix it. Because if it's a log line, sometimes maybe if it's a log, sometimes we could miss it or something. I don't know. So we could say player could not. It's basically like an assertion, right? Sometimes if you're programming in C or in C++, you do an assertion. So you're basically 100% sure that if that code is invalid, you're gonna see it. It's gonna, boom, print a stack trace right in your face. That's the same thing. Player could not be found, although it should exist, right? Something like this. Now we're gonna say player status is going to be the status, right? Why you use add unlock? Because we need to unlock. So if you want to change a variable, you need to open the lock, you need to hold the lock, right? So every other thread, every other Go routine that is willing to access the player or some variable It can't, because you are holding the lock. You're the boss. And if you unlock it, you basically free up the lock, and the next one that can grab the lock is the boss again, and he can do his stuff, and then he unlocks, and then the next one, right? That's how it works. So you don't have inconsistent behavior, because, listen, it could be that, for example, a number is 10, right? And you have logic, and the logic is that you grab the 10 and you add it by 1, so it's 11, right? But if you don't use a lock, you grab it, right? And you see, oh, it's 10, but by the time you're adding 1, it's already 11, so it's 12, right? And your whole system is corrupt, and you will not notice it, right? You will not notice it. And if you're doing like balance calculations for a bank or something, and you have this issue, could you imagine? I hope it happens, but in the good way. So I have millions instead of dollars, you know? So we need to unlock it, and you could basically unlock it here, for example, right? At the end of your function, but I don't know. I think it's better to do a defer like this. It's cleaner. Defer will trigger here automatically, right? At a cost, at some little computational cost, but a little bit. And yeah. Never worry about performance. That's the biggest mistake people do, is worrying about performance. The only thing you should worry about is solving your problem, right? Fixing your problem, finishing your project. And if that is done, then you can worry about performance, right? Because all of these people worrying about performance, they never complete a project. That's the thing. I see, thanks. I was curious, since you use write lock but read unlock. Oh, is it? That's not good. My man. You're right. I'm sorry. Hey, solid blending. You are right, man. I was read unlocking it. Just unlock. My bad. You're right. But what I told is correct, right? But I made a typo. So for writing you do a lock, and for reading you do a read lock, right? And you also read unlock. All right. So players, we update the status, and then maybe we should do something like G check need to deal cards, right? Something like this. And now we need to do, it's going to get nasty. It's going to get filthy, trust me, but hey. Where are we updating this thing? New player, maybe. We don't have new player. Maybe we could do set player status. Are we gonna clean things up? No worries. When we add a player, okay, I don't know. We will see. Oof. Oei, oei, oei. Already an issues. Wait, I know what's going on. I think it's always the same thing with these. You see, it's going super slow, right? It's going. Wait. So we add a player, right? That's this. That is this. That's the first thing we do. Yeah. Okay. So this is the how do we say it? The culprit. Oh man, the culprit. That's a culprit. Is that a thing, culprit? I think it is. The culprit. That's so funny word. Not gonna lie. Add player waiting for cards. No. What did we do? Set player status, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. See this. Hey. This lock, right? That's a problem. This lock, right? And this lock. Yeah. So we are saying lock here, defer, unlock. This is very important because you're gonna make this mistake. But we are also doing set player status in the same scope of the lock. So we're basically, they don't come because they are locked. How can we fix this? We can actually fix this by saying this. I think. It isn't. And we have this deal cards also, right? Ay. Oh, but this atomic. Wait, let me do something very bad. In add player method, you do set the status twice. It should not be like that. How you mean? Yeah, you mean like this, right? Yeah, I know. But the thing is, I just do this because this function will basically check if you need to deal cards. That's why I'm calling it again. But you're right. We are setting it 2 times, but it doesn't really matter. We could actually, yeah, if you, hey, we could do this, right? It doesn't really matter. Could even do this. Like this. Right. And then set the status here, and it's all good. In check deal cards, you call land player connect with also. Yeah. I'm stuck with these locks, and I think we should actually change to move some parts out to this loop here. With a channel or something. But I don't want to overuse channels. Yeah, land player is connected. Yeah, but the thing is, wait, so I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna just try to figure out what it is. Maybe if we do this. You see it's still slow as hell. If we kill this lock. Okay. One more time. One more time. Yeah, it's completely broken. Wait, let me quickly think, because I actually should thought about this. So this could be a smoother run, like a little bit. Like I said, I just turned on this thing and dove into it. So add player is basically the first thing we call, right? It's in this function. Where is it? Add player here. Right, so we call add player. So we lock our peer. Yeah, that's fine. So what we could do, we could do something like to see if this is going to cause some trouble. There's an atomic, so that should be good. It isn't. Is it this atomic? Or maybe it's this one. Let's do something like this. Oh, man. It's the LAN place connected. Yeah, of course, it's this lock and that other lock. Yeah. We could do something like this, right? So we don't need this lock because we're locked already. So we could say with lock, like this. So it's important that you do this because if somebody else works on this code and he wants to get he sees this LAN players connected just function and he calls it and he's stuck just like me. But if there is something like LAN players connected with lock, he knows there is a lock, so it's much more easier for him to debug this stuff. And you could also, a very common practice is to, if you do these things, it's like if you make these things, is LAN players without lock and then with lock. So you have these two things. And then with lock, you just call the function without lock, but add a lock, wrap it in a lock, if you know what I mean. That's a common pattern, and you see this a lot. Up to you. Because you can imagine that if some people come into such a project like this, you're not going to have a good time, right? So it's very important you name things right. Right, so check deal cards, right? And then you could actually annotate, right? that some parts need to be unsafe and needs to be wrapped. So actually, let's set player status. I don't think we call this, right? We remove this here, yeah. Check need deal cards, that's good. So what we could do is comment this back out, this back in. And that will call that, yeah, let's see. But there's also, lock. And delete this lock, right? Because we are encapsulated there. Hey, too many locks. On 30, what the hell's going on? Did we actually? Oh yeah, I see. In this case, we need to call it because we're in this loop, right? With lock. Alright. Alright. Make run. Let's see if we fixed it. Yes, that's good. Nice. Alright. Yeah, Pio, thanks. And like I said, sometimes I don't even directly respond because there is some lag between the chat. I don't know what it is or why it is, but there is a couple of seconds lag. So we're dealing cards, that's good, I think. So we set the status, and the only reason why we set this player status is then because we're going to call this function, right? That's the only reason, is for this function. We could also do something like a ticker, but I don't like that. Each time we set a status, we're going to check, hey, is everybody ready? And then we're going to fire it off. And maybe we're going to add some other logic or refactor it. I don't know. We will see. Logres with fields. Logres fields. I'm going to say info. Need to deal cards. Like this. We're going to say... Do we have actually access to our own address? That's the thing. We don't. Actually, I think we need... Actually, no. We need a server. So I was thinking that's actually important. Because what we're going to do here, right? I'm going to do some logging. But we're going to call the server here. And the question is, how do we call the server? Because we're going to send... We're going to construct a deck, right? And we're going to send it over the wire to everybody else. So we need some kind of a broadcast message. The thing is... Are we going to call the server directly with a pointer? Or are we going to send a message with a channel? So we don't need the server as a pointer. We can just communicate with a channel. But that means that we need to... Maybe a broadcast channel, right? Because is there actually a scenario where we need to notify one player? I don't think so. Because we always need to notify everyone, right? Every status, I think. Because if someone needs to fold, everybody needs to know. If somebody wins, everybody needs to know. If somebody places a bet, everyone needs to know. Is there a case? Because then the only thing we need to do is broadcast. And we could do like a server, and then we can call broadcast or something. And then we could do encode here, right? but not in this function, but in another one, but do encoding on the game state side. And then put the buffer inside this thing. And then the server as a function, something like this, right? As server broadcast, right? And then maybe, I don't know, maybe a byte, a payload, slice of bytes, right? Then we could say for, do we have something like peers? A safe way to get peers? I think we have. What is this? Yeah, that's good. But that's not a map, right? So could do something like this, right? Peers. Wait, peers y. What the hell is going on here? Peers y sent. Ah, that's an address. For peer range as peers peer sent. What is this variable, man? Payload. It's like this, always confused. We could say if error maybe logres broadcast to peer error. Yeah. Actually, we need to think about these errors also. Continue. Because what happens with an error? That's annoying, right? So what if we cannot? What if a player disconnects? How are we gonna handle that? Do we wanna handle that? That's the question. You should notify just one player if they are dropping packages, I guess. Yes, exactly. I was just talking about this. So how are we gonna? And do we actually want to do this in this project, right? I mean, in a production environment, of course, you need to think about these things. What if a player drops connections? How are we going to handle this? Do we halt the game? Is he timed out? Do we wait for 60 seconds? What the hell's going on? But in this case, it's very complex. I think if there is an error, hey, maybe we just drop the peer and remove him from the game or something. I don't know. We will see. So we're going to send this payload. We could actually do this, right? Wait. Go func. And do we need to encapsulate something? Nope. That's crazy. Do we need to have the peer in this thing? Can't hurt. One is maybe send a message to everyone but ourselves and not to everyone. The idea I gave yesterday. Maybe send a message to everyone. Ah, I see. Yeah. Oh man. So we're gonna spin up this Go routine and just send everybody and call it a day. That should actually not return any error, to be honest. No need to return an error. Okay, so how are we gonna do this? Are we gonna call broadcast from a pointer, or are we going to send, for example, broadcast channel like this, and then say buff? Or maybe we say any, and any type. Alright, and then we can copy and code on any type here. Is that a thing? What should be the best approach? We could just make the message here. For example, let's say cards, a cards message. Something like this, right? And cards, and then we say broadcast. Just prototyping, eh? Thinking out loud. Cards. Man, what's going on here? And then say cards. Hop. And then here we receive payload, which is an any. So we could do this. And then we could say if gop new encoder. We need a buffer. Gonna be a new bytes buffer buff encode the payload. Playload. Man, I feel so scuffed and tired, not gonna lie. But hey. Hello guys, happy coding. Akan, what's up, man? Welcome. A loyal soldier of the high value engineers. Actually, then we need to return an error. Return error here, and then we're gonna say buff bytes here. Like this, and then we return the error null. What is going on today? Help! It's not my best day today, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I woke up this morning and it was not my best day. I knew it from the moment I woke up. I was tired, my nose. Focus. All right. Broadcast to peer. FR. Is that a thing? FR. 2. Happy decentralized night. Sam Uncle. Uncle Sam, what is up? Welcome. Okay, so we have this peer. We send to the peer broadcast. How are we going to call this? With a channel? Let's call it with a channel. Is there a case we need a server? No, right? The only way we need a server is for our transportation. So a good idea is then, and it could be that we change it. I have no clue. We don't do whiteboards. We do everything on the fly, and I think it's a good idea because a lot of people, they assume they do these meetings, right? These meetings are toxic in the first place. So if you can avoid a meeting, please do it. Because what happens in a meeting is you go with a group of engineers and you draw something on the whiteboard. Oh, we're going to make this and that's an interface and it's need to communicate. And oh, yeah. And everybody is happy and pumped. And then you're going to implement it. And I can swear to God, it's not going to look like what you just drawn. And you wasted 2 hours, you know? It is what it is. Sometimes when you implement stuff, 2 weeks later, you need to change stuff because, oh shit, it's not going to work, right? You need to realize that. But still grinding. Yes, man, we're still grinding. We don't care. We need to perform. We need to grind. Like I said, I have so many plans with my YouTube channel. I'm going to break world records. No, I'm not going to break world records, but I'm going to try. I need to keep grinding. And we're going to do some Rust stuff also. I'm doing a lot of stuff on my channel, and it's not because I want to overwhelm people with different things, but it's because I'm trying to find a market fit, right? It's a little bit of a marketing strategy. What do people want to see? Do they want to see Golang? Do they want to see blockchain stuff, Solidity, Rust? What do people want to see? Are you beginners? Do you want to see beginner videos? Do you want to see next level shit? Do you want to? I don't know. So that's why I'm doing all these videos, so I can see them at analytics where you guys click on, right? That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to do. And this stuff is very hard on stream, I'm gonna lie. This is not your to-do list. It's hard to think and talk, but I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at multitasking. All right, we're gonna make a channel. We're gonna say the broadcast. I think it's a good name. Broadcast. Make a channel of any. Is that a thing? Where is the time we needed to write interface, man? Where is this time? Look at this. OG. Golang OG Snow. What's going on with this broadcast channel, by the way? Oh, yeah. All right. So we make this thing, so we have it. Then we need to pass it to our game state, right? Where is game state? Here. No. Here. I need to do some shenanigans here. We're gonna say new game state. And if you see me sometimes do this, right? Like I do, like type this crazy thing in my search thing. It's because when I highlight, if I highlight game state, for example, right? Game state, where? And I press enter, everything is highlighted, right? So to clear this, I just search and I type something nasty, ASDF, and then my highlights is cleared. That's a very bad habit, but it is what it is. Sam Uncle, Akam, I got some questions about Golang. I'm gonna ask them on the Discord. This language is super awesome. It is super awesome. It is. Uncle Sam, have a good wallet, Exodus wallet. Can we develop like this, or maybe show us make clone it from GitHub source? Maybe. Salad, this is the first stream that I've been coding along, and I must say the pacing of your stream is perfect. No slow, not too fast. Yeah, today I'm a little bit rusty. I don't know. I'm not in my best, right? I'm performing at 80%. I'm gonna lie. I'm honest. I'm making a lot of typing errors and stuff, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go to bed very early. And when I go, I'm gonna watch the podcast from Lex Friedman with Kanye West. Kanye West, man. If you have 1 hour and a half of Kanye West, I'm gonna sign for it. This guy is literally Kanye West. He's the G, man. He is. You can say whatever the fuck you want about Kanye West, but he makes billions of money. This guy is insane. I'm gonna watch it. I'm already excited, and I can feel the pump already. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna focus, guys, because we need to make this poker engine. We're gonna play some poker, man. What the hell? Okay, broadcast channel. We need to have the shenanigans. We're gonna. There's a way. We're gonna say game state. We need to have the broadcasts channel. Like this is gonna be a chan any. And then if we make a new, and I'm gonna take time to read the chat later on, but otherwise we're gonna be off track. Just dump your questions and I will see you later. New game. It's gonna be a chan any, yeah? Wait, this is actually such a bad name. Let's make it like this, man. Okay, then we're gonna say check deal cards GD. Yeah, and here we're gonna call G deal cards. How are we gonna log it actually? Yeah, I know what we... Aren't we planning to give our own address? So we could do this like an adder or something, and then we could say game statement listen adder. So we actually can see who is dealing cards. I think that's a good idea. How do we do it? Oh yeah, that's why we switched from there to the server, because yeah, I see, man. Ping pong. Game state. I think we need some more stuff. We're gonna have a broadcast channel, and maybe we could also do something like an adder string like this, and say, or do we have listen address? And why is new game state here? I'm always adding my constructors below my struct. I don't know what happened. That escalated very quickly, I'm not gonna lie. Broadcast channel, we're gonna say a listen adder. A string. We're gonna say the listen adder is going to be the adder. And then we can actually log that out. It's very important that we can see who is dealing the cards. In our case, it's 3000, we know, because we hard-coded it. gdeal cards, that's going to be a function we're going to make to actually deal the cards. Because, yeah. Game state deal cards. How are we going to send the deck? Message. We're going to make type message cards. Is that a good thing? Message deck, message cards, message deal cards, message cards. I don't know. We are not rubies. We don't care. We just do whatever we want. We are the Conor McGregor of coding, right? We don't apologize. What is this? I got some questions. Yeah. Salat Laonis. 2 is volledig. Only the dealer should check if the after update status. The dealing, I will reveal the dealing, the actual dealing algorithm later on, because it's not an algorithm I found out. We're going to use something that already exists. It's a dealing algorithm with encryption. So everybody needs to deal. But we need to keep track of the actual dealer, because it's the button, it's the dealer and the big blind. That's why we need to keep track of, because if poker didn't have the dealer button, that's actually, the dealer button is a very important position in poker, right? Because you're lost, basically, right? Is it? The dealer, everybody, and then the dealer, right? So it's a very important position, I think, on the button, right? That's why we need to keep track of that position. But otherwise, we could just pick somebody random, because everybody needs to shuffle anyway, so it doesn't matter. But in poker, it does matter. We should num1 the num of people waiting for cards at some point. Is it? I love this. Cheese. Ice bear. Maybe if we update status, I want cards, boy. Yeah, limit the number of players. Exactly. I think I'm going to limit the number of players to 6 or something. I don't know. It doesn't actually matter, but we're gonna limit it for sure. It's in the handshake, by the way. The handshake is going to determine if we can join or not. Message cards. Can we do this? Actually, can we do deck? Yeah, we have already this, right? We have already done some stuff, but the deck is just a 52. It's an array. It's not a slice. This is an array. You will basically, it's very rare you find this in Golang, but this is an actual array and not a slice. Which makes sense because you don't need to modify it, right? 52 cards or 52 cards. And in poker, you can generate a game at once, right? You can, everybody shuffles, and the moment everybody has shuffled, that's the game. The game is there, right? Everything is determined. Pre-flop, flop, turn, river. Which is the beauty. So we're gonna say a deck, all right? And then, yeah, let's try some stuff out. What's going on here? We need to put a listen adders in this game state, I guess. And then S broadcast channel. What's going on here? Is that a... Oh yeah, it's the config. Yeah, I see. All right. G deal cards, that's this one. I think the only thing we need to do is do some card logic, right? We could say deck is going to be deck new. That should be a shuffle deck. But we need to encrypt, right? We're going to add encryption later on because that's going to be nasty and I still need to figure out how we're going to do this. But let's try to send it over the wire. So basically we have a deck and then we're going to loop through the deck and encrypt each card with our key. Each card, right? Send that over to everybody else and everybody that receives the deal cards actually, yeah, the deal cards message should encrypt each card, shuffle, first shuffle, encrypt each card again, send it back until everybody has shuffled and encrypted each card. And how it then should work is basically that I don't know. I will take the document in the next stream. We're going to actually do that. And then we're going to take the document and we're going to read it together. Something like that. And then somebody could give keys and they could encrypt it. And then for the turn and the main cards, everybody could give his key. So it all can be encrypted and some stuff. It's something like that. I don't know it on the top of my head. But that's the secure peer-to-peer. That's one of us. That is one method to do a secure peer-to-peer shuffle. But hey, so we have this deck, right? Dealing cards, we have this deck. Then we're going to say it's an any, right? Then we're going to make this message. We're going to say the message is going to be... Do we have new message? Yes. What is this? From and a payload, okay? Wait, that's going to be G. That's why we need this listener. That's cool. Cool. Actually, we don't need to have this message. Message cards, like this. Put the deck inside of this. Actually, let's do it like this. To make it verbose. And then we're going to say G broadcast channel and pipe that in. Right? And then back to the server. Should we put it in here? Why not? Do we have broadcast? Yeah, right. Yeah, like this. The message. Then we're gonna say a logarithm of score, something like that, and error f. Do the error. Maybe we already have this, right? Let me open up another server. You could also search like this. Broadcast. Up. No. At. But the problem is, I cannot, because I don't have keys. I think we cannot broadcast a payload over the net. We need to make this into a message. Otherwise, the other side cannot receive it. And the reason for that is, let me quickly finish this function. Log broadcast error. Yeah, maybe like this. Because handle message. Look at this. Right? It expects a message. Why? Because in our TCP, we are decoding it here, right? TCP requires us a message over the network. That's the pact. So we're gonna say, each time we broadcast, the payload is fine here, because a message actually requires a payload, an any, you see here, that's perfectly. So we're gonna say, the message is going to be a new message, a message like this, and we're going to say it's from our listen address and the payload like this. And then instead of encode the message, yeah, yes, 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 and I think it should be good. I think we can send a deck, and then we can respond, and then we are at a very good position, because we only do 2 hours a stream, right? Okay, deal. I think it's good. Let's just try this and see. I don't know if it's, we will see what's going on. Nobody an issue. So there is still some inconsistency in this thing. Oof. My PC is blown up. Why do we have one pair connected? Did we fuck it up? Need to deal cards, that's true. It's almost it's almost 1. Have to sleep. Good night. Ice Bear, thanks for watching, man. And I see you tomorrow on the Discord or something. Of course, we need to shuffle here, right? I mean, the text is already shuffled, but I mean, we need to encrypt here. But for now, that is good. Deal cards. We say G broadcast, okay, and then we say broadcast here. Where is this? Broadcast. This game state, what the hell? Here. Broadcasting. Damn, did I actually do this? Damn. Messing things up, guys, not gonna lie. Info. Broadcasting to all peers. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, damn. Okay. We're not broadcasting, right? And I think the problem is actually, to be honest, of course not. Shit. Can I do something like... I'm just gonna do a little test because I have a small feeling something is stinky. Broadcast channel like this in a for loop is fine, and I'm gonna delete it here. Mert, what is up? Welcome, man. How was your day? How was your day? You see? So what's the problem? It's basically, you need to be careful with this. Although this seems like a perfectly fine thing, the problem is that you could lock out yourself in these things also, especially with this message channel. And I think we need to have a separate message loop. And this basically a loop to control the server, and this message loop will route incoming messages. That should be maybe something somewhere else. A lot of stuff we need to fix, man. And of course, now we get this error that message card is not registered, which is completely normal. So we're gonna register this. GOP register. It's gonna be message cards like this, right? I see you enjoy yourself too. Busy, but fun. Yeah, man, I'm enjoying myself, but I'm a bit, yeah, it's one of these days. It's not 100%. Getting a little bit sick. The yearly cold, right? Nothing too bad, but you know, not 100%. Went to the gym with basically 70% of my powers, and I gave it my all. And after that, I needed to coach the youth of the soccer team where my son plays. 1 hour of yelling at little kids, 5, 6 years old. Created a Rust video, and now I need to stream, so I'm a little bit tired. What is GOP used for? GOP is basically a binary encoding protocol, and it encodes. It's specially designed. Well, it's basically part of the standard library and is only for Go structures, where it will basically serialization thing. It will serialize and deserialize your Go structures into binary format, so you can send them over the wire in a very easy way. The same thing like a proto buffer, but more scuffed. Very easy to use and very good for testing and prototyping and all that stuff, right? That's GOP. And I think it stands for Go binary or Go object binary or something. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's something like that. I don't recommend to use this in production, but for these things, very good. For production, you should use a proto buffer or something. With gRPC. Launis, encoding the message over the network and decoding it on the other side. Exactly. That's exactly why it is. Right, and it's a complete library on its own, right? You can see it's... You should read these things because it's super interesting to see how they do things, right? A lot of code. Wait, it's actually... Right, because they basically even sent a type descriptor, right? So they sent everything. It's not an optimal format because they sent a lot of information about the Go type, so they can actually do interfaces and all that stuff, right? Yeah, but it's always good to look at these things. Okay. Deck has no exported fields. Is it? Why not? Of course it has exported fields. What is he complaining about? Broadcast error is also a format error, to be honest. It's not, it's actually... Wait, what I'm doing? Broadcast errors. Where did we do this? No clue. That's weird. No exported fields. How is this possible? Type deck card. Ah, deck card. I see. Yeah. I see it's a card thing. Yeah. Let's do this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter actually. Of course, we can update it, but hey, we need to encode it. Yes. Let's go. I think it was the reason why basically need to deal cards. All right, let's see if we get a message, by the way. Let's open up server, because that's the most important part. So let's, could be that we have still an issue. Not quite sure, we will see. Case message cards, like this. What are we gonna say then? Maybe a loggerus or something. Actually, why? We could do fmt printf and then say %v, so we can see everything. Maybe a new line, and then the message payload. No, v. My bad. Like this. Right. Cards. Yes. Where is the rest? Received message cards from %s, and we are going to say we received the cards from this guy, this one. These are the cards basically, and then we need to of course specify as listen address. And then we're gonna say MSG from, right? Make run. Whew. Is some sort of crypto module going to be implemented in the future? Yes. Internet TOA. Of course, we are going to, because we're gonna do some encryption, and we're also gonna interact with Ethereum for our stakes for the money. So that will be. For now, we're gonna just send it over as plain cards actually, which is not the best idea, but just to test the messaging part. And then once we have that, we're gonna encrypt it, and then we're gonna see how that turns out. But I think we have an issue. So we have this deck, and we are 4,000, and we received the cards from 3. That's perfectly fine because we are the dealer. The thing is, where is 5? Cool, nice project. Thanks, man. I'm trying my best. It's very challenging, but hey, we will make it. I think broadcast, right? So we're ranging in all these peers. Do we need this encapsulation? Not that it matters, but broadcasting. Otherwise, we could do fields. Info. Let's go. What the hell? Unexpected, of course. What unexpected? What? Fair enough. I'll take it. I'll take it. And if we receive the cards, we need to send a message directly back that we and update the status. That's what we need to do. But the problem is nobody gets the card. Only one gets the cards for some reason. It's something in the broadcast mechanic is scuffed. And I thought I was logging this, to be honest. Here. Peer, we. Broadcast. Is there something wrong with these peers? I think he's basically dealing too fast, in my opinion. For some reason. And I think it's because we made a mistake. It makes sense, actually. This makes sense if you think about it, because we are connecting, right? And each time we add a peer, this is actually stupid from me. It's actually the correct behavior, but we need to fix this. So we need to actually add a min player thing. Because what happens is, so node A, node B connects to node A, right? And we add the peer, so it's 1. He is ready, we are ready, everybody's ready, so we deal score to that guy. But the other guy's connecting a couple milliseconds later, they get no cards. That's the thing. Actually, it's behavior, right? I mean, then they need to wait for the next round, isn't it? So it's actually working. What we could do is basically, what's going on with this? Yeah, I need to encapsulate it here. That's crazy. In some cases, peer, like this. I think it's always better to encapsulate these pointers in these functions. We're gonna say in game state. And what I'm gonna do for the next stream is I'm gonna make sure I prepared myself a little bit, not in code, but in thinking, so we can move at a more faster pace, so I don't need to figure things out on the fly, which is sometimes very hard, I'm not gonna lie. What's the time, actually? What is going on? All right. Okay, so, but actually, putting some variable, limiting the number of players. I don't know. You could go a heads up, right? I mean, I think it's the same thing if you join like in PokerStars, right? If there is one player waiting in the room and you join it, the game instantly deals, right? And then if I come in 2 seconds later, yeah, I need to wait. I mean, my bad, right? I need to be, yeah. So, damn that we need to. You know what? We're gonna add that flag just to test if this broadcast works, which should. Because otherwise we need to do all the game logic. Or we could just fold. We could implement a fold mechanic. And then just fold. Everybody folds, so the new game starts, and yeah, maybe. Right, what we're gonna do first of all. So, if we receive, that's actually fun. I like to make these kind of things. I'm gonna lie, especially if you try to create it your own, instead of looking at other projects. It's faster, but what we could do is, if we get the message cards, we need to set our own status, eh? Can we actually set this without turning into problems? We could do it atomically if we want. we should protect this game status because that's super important. Is this an N32? I'm gonna make it a UN32 because then we can actually atomically store this. We could do something like this, right? Func g game state set status. I don't like setters, but in this case we need because set and get is bad unless you actually do some extra logic in your setter. That's the only way you can use one. You could say as actually and say game status like this, and then we say atomic to do anti-am check other occurring reads and writes important. We need to do this. So we could say atomic.load maybe. Yeah, we could say atomic load. Actually, all status is this atomic load, and we're going to say the address of G game status. Yeah, this one. What's going on here? Shit. We need to cast this. I know, because it's a custom type, right? Game status is a custom type, and it expects an N32. Yeah. What's going on? Fuck. I knew it's going to cause trouble. God damn it. Which package is this? Yeah, it's sync atomic, that's good. So the problem is here, we're gonna load an N32, right? But game status is actually an N32, right? But it's not, because it's our own type. So what I was thinking is, how this actually works, this atomic loading thing, is you need to provide the address of that N32, which actually is an N32. But it's not, it's a game status. But it is, right? It's it's confusing. So I thought, hey, why don't we say N32 and we cast this game status to an N32? Cannot use. Of course, I understand this. Maybe we do this. To test. You could do this. Like this, right? We cast this, and then we're going to say NX. This makes no sense at all. This is so bad. How do you do this? Maybe we do this. We can't. Fuck Golang, man. Garbage. damn it. If somebody figure out how we can cast a status and into a status which is easy, but then take the address for this atomic thing. Anyway, let's say GE status. Do we need to load this? We could store it, right? Actually, we could say wait, can we do atomic store in 32 and G, wait. Oh, you could do it like that. I never used this syntax in my life. Look at this. What if you make a switch to the internet? Yeah. Yeah, but it's already, it's not needed. We're gonna store this. We're gonna say ng game status. So it does weird things. What? And I cannot store it because... Oh, that's so unfortunate, man. Because it is an integer. It's an int32. It's just syntactic sugar. What is this? What is this shenanigans? No, it's not gonna work. Fuck it. We're gonna say G game status, no atomic then. I will figure something else out. G game status is going to be S. So basically, this is a bad setter, right? Because you can even do this directly on the field. So if you do your setters like this is completely trash. It's a waste of time and a waste of energy. But the reason why we make a setter is because we're gonna do some atomic operations on it, right? Make this a concurrent save operation. Preferably atomic one. Fuck it. Set status game. Set status. Set status. Status. If we receive the cards, what's our status? Pretty flop, right? No, it's not. Yeah, it is, but... Oh. Is this? Salad. Hello. Ha! Our hero! Look at this. You see, so basically the VS Code type int was totally trash. But now we need to, actually we don't need to load it, sad, but we need to store it, but it's the same thing, right? It's the same principle. We're gonna say store in32, which is this shenanigans, right? Yeah, paste it in, and then say S. And now we need to do it here. So we're gonna say, I never seen this syntax in my whole life. This looks like Rust. Like this, right? And then say and something like this. We don't need the address. We don't need the address. Do we need a pointer? No. This is crazy. I didn't know that you could cast like this in Golang. I never did this in my whole career. Normally I cast like int, for example, right? Or even your custom type. You could say custom type like this, and then maybe int or something, right? Or you could cast something like xxx dot pointer my type. That's the way I cast in Golang. These two. Anyway, hey, learning each day. I'm learning each day. All right. Thanks, Salad. I'm going to call you Salad because it's shorter. Salad blending. Salad. Thank you. Thank you, man. VIP Patreon, by the way. Today, I'll have to do... Okay, cool. Set status, we're going to say... yeah, that's a good question. What? Your VS Code suggested it to you? And my VS Code did some shenanigans. Damn. Damn. How are we going to do this? So we receive our cards. So we're not waiting for cards because we got cards. So maybe... Okay, I have an idea. Maybe we need to have a status that basically says, okay, we received the cards. Which will automatically assume... Wait, receive cards. Receiving cards. Waiting for cards? Damn, I'm beating up my mic. Receiving cards, then we need to have a status. Waiting for cards because... No, receiving cards status. That means that the dealing is... The shuffle process is started. And once we have enough cards received, right, we're gonna do a counter. Then we enter the pre-flop stage. Does that make sense? I'm new. How long I can go learn Golang? Very soon. Because you're at the right place at the right time. If you watch my videos, you're gonna be an expert. You're gonna be an insane coding machine, spitting out Golang. But it depends on you, Nariman. It depends. It depends how much hours you can afford and invest in it, right? How much hours you can invest in learning Golang. That's the thing. It's a very simple language to be honest. So I think you will have a good time. I think it's going to be very fast. That depends. But you should definitely learn these languages. If I could give you a good advice, learn JavaScript, Golang, and Rust. These will get you money on the bank. And if you can, maybe Python. But that's, I won't go any further. These languages. Golang and Rust are the highest paid languages. Yes. Of course, you have Haskell and all that bullshit, but man, nobody's looking for Haskell, man. Nobody's looking for those guys. Woo! Set status. Oh man, I'm so confused. We need to think about this, about these statuses. We're gonna say case status waiting for cards, status receiving cards. Yeah. Yoinky yoinky. Waiting for cards. We're gonna say receiving. So receiving for cards. That's not a good thing. Receiving cards. Game status receiving cards. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. I see. Yank W will basically will yank the word. GY. Maybe I should do like the key binding, the keystrokes. You guys are gonna get epileptic attacks. I will put my keystrokes. Yeah, maybe I should do that. So an add-on that put the keystrokes on my screen so you can see my Vim commands I'm pressing, right? Luanis, you think Rust will race because it's still underused? Yeah, look, but the thing is, guys, listen. Look, I have no opinions on a language because I'm making Rust videos myself. Right? I have no opinion about a language at all. But, first of all, what is very... Listen. Because it's almost the end of the stream, actually, so we're going to do a little chit-chat, right? Because I need to drink and it's time. My brain is basically scuffed. But we did already a good job, right? So you need... Think about a company. Let's say you have a company, and in that company, 10 people is working. You have 10 employees writing code, right? So you're building a project, and you need to hire a programmer, right? Okay. What do you want from that programmer? You want that if he comes into your code base, he can read it easily and he can write it easily. And it still has a good performance and good support and good toolkit and good packages. You don't want to find that unicorn that knows Rust, right? To come into your team in your Rust language stack, that basically nobody can read. Nobody knows what's going on. Only one guy knows, right? And if that guy dies, you're bankrupt, right? And that's why Rust is not used that much, especially not in the normal companies, in the normal startup scene. Why? Because nobody needs Rust, right? What do you need? You need a backend, some APIs, some microservices. Where are you going to write your microservices in? In Rust? Did you already did some async, some async calls in Rust? Tokyo, all that shenanigans? You will have a bad day, right? And it's not that it's because it's a bad language. It's because Rust is not made for that stuff, right? You write your microservices in Node.js, in Golang, or in Python, right? Or maybe in Ruby, whatever, right? In these languages. Most of these companies, in the older days, have all their microservices in Java, right? Java was the best language back in the days to write your business logic in, your microservices. All Java. And now, what do you see? All these companies are porting, and believe it or not, it's true. Don't believe these tech gurus on Twitter because they are nonsense. They literally just want to sell you their emailing list. Now they are porting everything to Go. A lot of these companies are porting from Finagle, which is a toolkit for making microservices in Java. And now they're based in it's not Java, it's that other thing. Java, and you have that syntactic sugar. How did it called? Java and... God damn it, that other thing that's basically Java but with some syntactic sugar. And now they're porting everything to Go. Not everyone, but a lot. But they're not porting it to Rust. When are you going to use Rust? When you are making something like, for example, in the Web3, Next.js 13 conf or something. They are making Turbo Pack, right? It's written in Rust, of course. It runs on your machine. No, Kotlin not. Joe Biden, it's the other thing. What the fuck? I'm going to try to find it out. You have Turbo Pack right now. That's written in Rust. Why? Because it makes sense, right? It does not make sense to write Turbo Pack in fucking Python or in Golang. Golang is a concurrent language. It's used for doing async stuff, web servers, and all that stuff, right? And Rust is made for low-level operations, byte operations, for things that run on your machine, games, for video compressing things, video editing software, video processing software, maybe IoT. I think Golang maybe has a better... I don't know, I think Rust compiles a bit better for these native things, right? That's why Rust is good for, right? But of course, you have these fanboys, right? You have these programmers that are emotionally attached to their programming language because they cannot solve problems, right? They can't. They literally can't. The only thing they do is, oh, Ruby, and they're naming variables, and they don't solve problems. If you're a problem solver, and you're a hacker, and you're a builder, you don't fucking care what programming language you write. You write what you need to write to solve your problem, and take the money and put it in your pocket and sip margaritas on the Bahamas. It is what it is. What is that thing? I'm looking for that Java, and then... Wait, let me finagle Java. Let me quickly see this. It's made by Twitter, by the way, finagle. It's made by Twitter. Scala! It was Scala I was looking for. Scala, man. Scala. Groovy. No, it's not groovy, but no, Scala, it is not groovy. But a lot of things is also groovy, not gonna lie. In Netflix, they also have some groovy things running. So if you describe, but it is. Listen, so I was not done. So what do you see? You see a lot of Go, right? Because all these backend servers are basically starting to be written in Golang, right? Kubernetes is in Golang. A lot of DevOps is in Golang. Docker is written in Golang. Almost all blockchains are written in Golang. Everything is written in Golang. Why? Why is Golang? Why? Not because the syntax is so cool, because everybody can read this, right? You can take 100 developers, put them, pick one random developer out of a pool of developers, put them inside of a big Golang code base, and they will perfectly understand every single thing that's going on. They need a couple days to get into it, and they can basically write, solve bugs, and understand everything what's going on. Literally. But if you take one developer from a random pool and put them into a Rust code base, this guy is going to kill himself. He's driving home, and the first thing he do is hang him on a tree. That's the first thing he's going to do, right? And he will go back to McDonald's. He will not write any code anymore. Because it's complicated, right? You have this unwrap, and then you need all that pattern matching and option here, and async, and borrow, and mute, and But for some purposes, like for example, this matching engine, this video I made, right? The video about create a matching engine. I think a matching engine makes a lot of sense to use Rust, right? Because it's high speed. You cannot make this data race conditions or memory corruption so easily. So I think it makes sense. Why do you think I have no hair, Joe Biden? It's because of all these mistakes. Scala it was, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Arcadius. So that's why Golang is popular, right? But what happens? It's like a market, right? It's like crypto. It's like the whole world works like that. It's like some kind of arbitrage. What happens? In the beginning, Go developers, Go was new. Everybody was figuring it out. So they paid a lot of money for Go developers. But what happens that the market, the JavaScript boys, the Node boys, beginning to arbitrage themselves into Go. That's how the world works. You need to understand this. Arbitrage is how the whole fucking world operates, right? Because all these other languages, they were arbitraging themselves into Golang. So what happens that the market gets bigger. Also, the pool of developers get bigger. So you get paid less, right? It's normally. If it's scarce, you're going to make a lot of money. Back in the day, as a Go developer, you make a lot of money. But now everybody writes Go. And now Rust is popular, right? A lot of crypto projects are trying Rust. The market maker I worked for was all Rust. The only thing they used was Rust, and they did a lot of concurrency in Rust, and trust me, it was crazy. They aggregated every single order book in Rust, right? All these things. So a lot of people are using Rust, and they pay a lot of money because Rust is hard, right? It's not hard, nothing is hard if you know it, right? But it's harder. The the entry barrier for that language is harder, right? So that's why you still can make a lot of money as a Rust developer. But you need to be a good one, right? You know what I mean? If they hire a Rust developer, you need to be someone that actually understands everything, right? That's the thing. So I think Rust and Golang have a good future. But if you want to bet, I would do Golang, because then you get a job instantly. Everybody is looking for Go developers, right? Ultra hard. It's not ultra hard, but it's... Kijk, Rust, listen. Rust is, in my opinion, too big of an ID. It was a cool concept. It was a very hard idea to implement, like the borrow checker, and it's nice, and I have respect for the language, but in my opinion, it's too big of an idea. It's too big of a concept. It's too much shenanigans going on. You don't feel like a programmer anymore because you're doing that nasty stuff, right? It's like unwrap and what is this thing? No, I don't understand. I don't really understand what they are doing there. And in my opinion is, yeah, but they say it's for the safetyness of the developer, right? I mean, if I ride my bike, is somebody holding my wheel with a stock or something, or with two side wheels? Because it's safer for me. It's my responsibility if on my bike that I stay straight and not go on the ground and break my fucking nose, right? It's your job as a developer, if you're doing concurrency or you're adjusting memory, that you free the memory. I mean, it is what it is. But these developers these days, they don't know C++. They don't know what memory management is. So I understand. They make developers pussies. That's what they are making. So if you know, let's say Java, really good language, is just a tool, you can learn another one. Yeah, of course. It is, Arcadius. I mean, it is. If you know one language, you can easily, if you know how to solve a problem in coding, if you know how Git works, if you know how to make a folder, how to do an if loop, if you know how this all works. It's the same with gaming. It's exactly the same. Let's say you're a very good Counter-Strike player, or you're a very good World of Warcraft player. How long would it take for you to be a pro in Overwatch, or in Valorant, or in another shit shooter? Not much, right? A week, and you're basically day one, you're shitting on everybody else, right? If you're a good Counter-Strike player and you play Valorant or Overwatch, you shit on everybody else from day one. It is what it is, right? If you're a good League of Legends player or something else, you know how games work, you know how people work, you know how people play these games, you shit on everybody else. It is what it is. I was a World of Warcraft player, and I played the Rogue, one of the hardest classes in PvP, in Arena, right? I played the Rogue, high rating, right? I could play any other class, even though I never played them. But I know how things work. I know what other players could do, so I can counter them. It's the same with programming. Once you know the shit, you can do every single language, right? You just need to figure out the spells. You just need to figure out the syntax. If is maybe if, right? True. It doesn't work in Python, so I do capital true, and it works. You see? Easy. I'm talking about the professional programmers. Wait, I need to go back. Luanis, I still know many people in their 30s that haven't heard or just Golang. Yeah, of course, Golang is like I said, it's a good language, but it's not that everybody's using it, right? They need a lot of Golang devs, trust me. Almost every blockchain job is Golang, almost. So Golang is the way to go. But if you could have free time and you do Rust, then you're golden. Anyway, 55% of developers Googling everything. Haha, Arcadius. But I don't think that's a bad thing. Googling stuff. Because I'm going to Google stuff also, right? But yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. But you need to, if you're making production code at your job, right, or for a client, right, you need to make sure that it's good, and that it's performant, and that you do the right thing. But if you make toy projects or side projects in your free time, I would recommend highly to first try to figure it out yourself. Maybe it takes way too long, it doesn't matter, but try to find your own meta. Don't copy paste folder structure or architecture. Don't copy paste these things that the other projects do. Make your own meta, right? Make your own solution. Because you're going to trigger your brain on thinking, right? Thinking for that. You could trigger your brain to come up with solutions, right? Because there are people that find the same in life, like people are making metas for games or for something else. They make a meta, right? You need to play this character with this weapon, with these statistics, with these configuration. And then people come in and they copy that build, right? And they play and they still are trash, right? They still suck at the game, you know? Because they just copy. That's the problem. Don't do that. Play what you like, code how you like, code your own style, your own whatever, and try to figure out your own meta. That's important. Because that's going to make the difference between somebody that makes the meta and somebody that copies the meta. What do you want to be? A trendsetter or a trend follower, right? And once you have that knowledge, how to do these things, then you can steal with your eyes from others, right? You can say, hey, that's a good way to solve that problem. I will remember that, and I will take something from it and maybe incorporate this in my own solution, right? That's how you need to do it. Do you think most of those blockchain jobs are a bit scammy and not safe? Yes. You have no imagine how many companies are asking me to join for their team or do some contracting work, and I just don't do it because I don't want to be a part of a project that's basically rug pulls or something, and I did some work for it, right? I don't want to do that. I don't want to filth my name, right? All the companies I worked for are still here, right? Nash.io, they're still here. ChainSafe, they're still here. Every company is still here. Very good projects, right? But all the others, I don't do it. Or they need to be an established company in the space. Anthony for motivation speaker. Yeah, a lot of people tell me that I can motivate people. I know. But I need to motivate myself each day, man. Trust me. I'm very good at motivating myself, and I'm very good at motivating people around me. All right. Are there any questions? Because I'm going to wrap it up. I'm hungry, and I need to drink and all that stuff, and I'm going to sleep watching Kanye West with Lex Friedman or whatever. This podcast is going to be lit. Game status. Yeah, we need to send this. I'm going to do a little thingy to do figure out the status when we are receiving cards. You see? You see, if I need to relax a little bit and then I go back, my typing is pinpoint precise. If I type off stream, man, I'm literally 2 times as fast as on stream. I don't know what it is. I'm literally a torpedo if I'm off stream. I think I still need to get used to these things. Yes, and then it's gonna panic here, right? Because this is not gonna work, so we know that for tomorrow. Or maybe I should do this, and I will get ads for our boy Salad, because he's already making these things in his own repo, which is very good. git commit, we're going to say am. I was trying to do vim commands in my terminal, it's not working. Git commit, I mean, we're going to say fixed. No, I mean, it didn't fix anything, and actually implemented. I don't know. And game states things. Origin master like this, boom. Anthony, yeah. Blockchain is in the .com bubble phase. I feel it. Crypto maybe is. Crypto maybe is, but blockchain, we need to understand that blockchain technology is something that is much more a broader concept than crypto, right? Because a lot of companies, a lot of banks, a lot of carriers, how do we say that? Like these transportation carriers and these ships, how do you call that? Like these ships sailing, these firms, right? Overseas and that stuff. Chain. It's a specific name. I cannot come up the word. But a lot of these companies use blockchain and use private blockchains, and it's nothing to do with cryptocurrency. It's just a way to come to consensus. I don't know, to make it open and public, but private but public for the participants, if you know what I mean. So it's a very important skill to learn because these developers are very scarce. By the way, Hyperledger, also written in Go, by the way. Hyperledger blockchain. Last question, what's your favorite OS? Ubuntu, but I rather work on a Mac, but my Mac is basically trash, so I cannot stream on it. And that's why I'm forced to code on Windows. But my whole keyboard is basically Mac commands. So my Windows key is basically my command key. Because I'm so used on command that I literally need a command key and not a control key. So I rebinded everything on Windows. And then I'm using WSL2, right? So I can use my Linux command, of course, because Windows is trash for coding. But my favorite OS is basically Ubuntu or the last OS from Mac, right? If you wanna, if I could work on a Mac, right? It is what it is. But I'm using a Razer Blade with a big GPU, so I can stream, so I can encode my videos on the GPU, and I don't need to sacrifice my CPU. If that makes sense. All right, amigos. I see you tomorrow probably, and have a good night and keep on coding. And if you have questions, and if you're not subscribed, you should shame on yourself. Please subscribe, join the Discord, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.